Hello there, my friends. It's Jen Pitta with By the Shore Stamping. Welcome into another episode of Teach Me Tuesday. Today I wanted to showcase this Carols of Christmas stamp set. This is actually a pre-release that is currently available for customers to order. It is in the new holiday catalog, which comes out on September 1st, and I'll have those in the mail shortly. So if you're not a regular customer of mine, or you want to make sure that you're on my list of catalog recipients, be sure to send me an email at jenpitta@comcast.net, JENPITTA @comcast.net, to make sure you'll get your copy of the holiday catalog. But as I mentioned, this is in the new catalog. It is actually part of a mega suite, and it's one of my favorites in the new catalog. So right now, though, in August, customers can pre-order this one, so you can get your little hands on this right now if you'd like to. So I wanted to show it to you. There's also a matching set, or a coordinating set, of Framelits dies as well, so you get the cute little trees. I love this little deer that matches the little deer in the stamp set. How cute is he? It cuts out stars and a moon in your cardstock. It's also got this great little frame piece. I actually had cut one out earlier because I was playing with it and was possibly going to use this, but I didn't end up using it. But I really love that look too. When you layer on a card, it looks really pretty. Let me see if I can flip this over just so you can kind of see. So you get like a really nice frame for your cards. Be great for photo cards. If you do photo cards, this is perfect. So anyway, it's available as a bundle. I'll put the details in the description of this video. But today I wanted to show you this card that I made. For me, these greetings here just screamed that they needed to be embossed. So I'm going back to my roots, one of the first things that ever hooked me on stamping, which is the heat embossing. You can see here, it's probably reflecting a lot with the light, but that is all silver embossed up here and here, and the greeting is silver embossed. And then I just used those handy little die cuts that I just showed you to cut out my trees using silver foil paper. So one of the things I love to do too is the night of navy. I love using a pop of navy in my holiday cards. I don't know why, especially navy and white. I just love it. And then I added a little bit of texture with the old olive, what is that called? Baker's twine. So let me show you how quickly this can be put together. And you know what I think I forgot to do is to get myself another card base. So we'll have to pretend that I have the card base, but I do have the other parts. So that was silly on my part. Anyway, so what I wanted to show you mostly is the heat embossing part, because it is kind of a basic, but sometimes we just need a little refresher, and I'll show you how I did these edges as well. I just wanted to really show how you could really play with this stamp set. So first step, when you're heat embossing, the first thing you want to do is you're going to use the Versamark ink. This is a clear watermark ink. You can use it just to stamp on like solid cardstock, and that will actually give you that watermark look, which is where it gets its name, Versamark. So let's go ahead, we're going to ink that up, and I'm going to go ahead and do this. And as a side tip, I actually put a little bit of tape on the clear label part of my stamp, because this is a sticky ink. So when you put it on the clear mount stamp, sometimes it pulls it right off the block. So I just put a little tiny bit of removable adhesive on the label part so that I could stamp without it pulling it off the block. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp it right in the middle of this white cardstock. You want to make sure you're not rocking, because that's how you catch the edge. So I'm just going straight down, straight up, whoops, and it's sticky ink, like I said, so you may have to peel it off. And look, you can't see anything. It doesn't look like anything. However, then you're going to take your embossing powder. You can do silver, gold. Gold is really pretty too, so whatever color you like. And I'm going to just dump it all over the image. You want to do this part pretty quickly, because you don't want that Versamark ink to dry before you get the powder on, because that's what makes it sticky. Alright, so then we're just going to tap off the excess, and then I just give it a quick look to make sure I don't have any stray bits of embossing powder, which that looks pretty good. Okay, now this part I can actually leave and set aside. You don't want to rub it because it will rub that powder off, but as long as you don't touch it, it's fine now. The rush part is over, so you don't have to freak out about that. So now I'm going to just take my little bin, and I'm just going to funnel this all right back in to the bucket so I can reuse it. Shake out that excess, and then we'll do the next step. So I also did some embossing on the corners of this paper. Now this is actually a sneak peek of some product from the new catalog as well. This is one of my favorite papers, I'm telling you already. It's got white background music, and it all is really Christmas Carol music. And then there's also black background with white music on it, and it's gorgeous. It's going to be perfect for layering. It's going to make gorgeous Christmas cards, so I'm super excited about this. And this is part of that same mega suite that this stamp set comes from, so it'll definitely be one to have on your wish list. Alright, so to get that kind of edged look, I just took my ink pad and I literally just dragged it along the edge of the paper. And I actually am going to go a little bit further up and go all the way around, but I'm just going to concentrate and add a little extra ink in those two corners, the top left and the bottom right. And then I'll just go around the rest as the edging. Okay, like that. And then again, this step you want to do somewhat quickly. And then I'm just going to take my embossing powder and I'm just going to run it all the way around. And I don't remember which sides were the corners that I did. So I'm just going to kind of go heavy. It doesn't matter if you dump it all out because we're going to dump it all back. So I'm going to just make sure I get all those corners. And then I'm going to go ahead and pick this up. Dump all the excess. And this one I'm not really going to worry too much about stray pieces because I think it looks really cool. I'll just take it out of the middle here. But I don't care that it's kind of up in here a little bit or whatever. That doesn't bother me as much. So I'm just going to shake that out. And again, I can set that aside because it's fine now that I've put the embossing powder on it. And then I'm just going to dump this excess back in my little bin. So you can see you get a lot of use out of this embossing powder. So you can do a lot of different cards with that. All right, I'm just going to put the cover on this so we don't have any accidents. Ask me how I know. Right? So now what you would do with these, and I usually take my scissors and I'll hold that in place, and I would use my Stampin' heat gun, and I would use the highest setting, and I would just heat set this until it starts to melt. And I'll just do it for a second so you can kind of hopefully see the melting. I'm not sure if it will come through on the camera or not. And there it goes. Can you see that? So see how the powder is all melting and it's turning shiny. So that's what you would do with the whole thing. I'm not going to do it on camera because it will take a little bit. It doesn't take a ton of time, but I have the magic of TV. So here you go. So I embossed all of that on the edges so you can see. And then I have my my little piece on earth here too. All right. Oh, and I just stuck my finger in the one that I hadn't finished, of course. All right. This I think is not the right. I was going to layer on navy instead, but it's not the right size. So we shall. And the reason why I'm improvising now is because I forgot to do the navy piece too, so I'm really slacking. Let's see what it looks like on some crumb cake here. So I'm just gonna add that to my card base. So we're gonna go with the crumb cake instead of the white. Crumb cake works for everything, right? I'm gonna make sure I have my words going in the right direction. All right, so we'll do that. And like I said, I forgot to cut navy piece, but I do have this piece. So maybe I will change it up a little bit. So we'll do a little berry burst for this one, okay? Because I have that one already cut. I did remember to cut some trees. So there's a double tree. I get it, a double tree. I crack myself up sometimes. There's a tree and then a double tree. die cut. So I'm going to go ahead and stick those under here. See, you're going to lose that one mostly. Maybe I'll do it a little higher like that. And then one over here. I'll do the opposite. Now I had a little bit of green baker's twine. What do you think? Does the green and the pink go? I think so. Where is the end of this silly thing? There we go. So let me cut a little bit of this and I'll show you how I layered that underneath there. Okay. First up, I'm going to put a little bit of tape on the back of here so I can layer. And I might actually, because I liked how this was kind of cute, sticking out a little bit. Like that. So actually I'm going to leave it so it's under there, so it's fine. Layer that on top of here. Okay. And then I'm going to attach these trees, and I'm going to just do that flat. So I'm going to stick those down first. I'm not going to stick this one down too much because I want that image to go kind of tuck under it so that it looks kind of fun like that. Okay, so I think I'm going to do that flat, but first let's do a little bit of texture. I love adding a little bit of ribbon to add some texture. I'm just going to take my fingers and I'm going to wrap the twine around that and then pull it off. You get these loopies. I'm going to need them a little bit bigger. So I'm going to sort of spread the loopies out. You like that term? It's technical, the loopies. So pull out your loopies and then kind of just arrange it on your card. I'm not even going to tape it or anything. I'm just going to sort of see how it positions when I slide this under here. Make sure there's enough showing. It looks pretty good. Okay, and on the first one I actually popped this piece, but for this one I think I'm going to go flat and I'll pop the tree on the other side. We'll do a little bit of variety here. So I'm just going to slip that under here again. Make sure the whole thing is still, you can still see all the words. Make sure that's fully adhered. And then I can add a little bit of tape for this tree. Tape that down. And then I'm going to add some dimensionals to this tree. So we get a little bit of lift. And I'll use the side here for this middle. And I may actually use our new little minis. I don't know where the other ones are, but I'm going to steal. You see these little mini dimensionals? Oh gosh, so excited. I'm going to throw one of those right in there. How cute is that little baby dimensional? Love it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pop that on top of my card. And there you have it. Easy peasy. And we got two different versions. Which one do you like better? I actually like them both. I love that pop of pink. But I still think I'm leaning towards the navy. Anyway, the information about this bundle is in the description of this video, so just click on the little arrow and it will tell you all the details. And like I said, if you'd like a holiday catalog and you don't already have a demonstrator, please just give me a shout at jenpitta at comcast.net, and I will get one of those out in the mail to you in the next week as I'm getting ready to prep those for mailing this week. So thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this video and share it with your friends. I'd love that. And until next time, have a great week. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.